So, Dr. Burke, item number 5 is for compensation for board member assistants / consultants. Generally, this item does not go to the full board, and generally those are determinations made by the administrative committee. Since we don't have a quorum, we have a couple of different options. We could either forward this to the entire board, which would delay the board consultants / assistants from getting compensated now, or we could call a special administrative committee where folks could participate via phone and do it quickly.
Well, my understanding is that Ben's in Washington and Dr. Parker is in Alabama. Because the lady who raised him, he was an orphan. And the lady who raised him passed away. So he went down there to the funeral services. So when would be the first, because you can't do it with them out of state?
We could do a special committee meeting next week sometime, Dr. Bird.
Okay, let's try and get it for Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday morning at 10. How's your schedule there, Ms. Mitchell?
Let me check. Tuesday morning at 10. That's my regular council day. I should be in town. So I think that'll work.
Okay.
So
how about 9?
That would be that would be the 12th.
Yes.
Next Tuesday, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm available.
Because it'll only be 2 minutes. It'll only be a 2-minute meeting.
Sure, I'm available. I'll do it from my city hall.
Okay, and I'll do it from my house. So let's schedule a special admin committee meeting for next Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Okay.
9 a.m.?
9
a.m. or 10 a.m., Dr. Bird?
Well, she's got council at 10.
No, I don't. That's in the evening. The council's in the evening. So
10.
I'm free at
Then 10's fine.
10's fine.
Okay.
10's fine.
10 o'clock.
10's fine.
That'll be at city hall, so we need to post the notice there.
Nancy, did you hear that? City Hall noticing for man Mitchell.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gilchrist, how do you want me to handle today's agenda?
So, Mr. Chair, I believe Mr. Alatorre wants to pull item number 12.
Yeah, I want to pull item number 12, Dr. Burke, and then item number 13, we have the only respondent to our RFP for consultant services for environmental justice community outreach here for the interview. I don't know if you still want to interview them or just make a recommendation. It's your call.
Now, this is the
EJ outreach.
move that one to the Tuesday meeting too. It's $500,000. I'd like to have a full vote on that.
Okay.
But what about the school thing?
So the school thing is, that's not coming up until, it'll be at the March.
Well, what are these questions I was given this morning?
That's for environmental justice, the EJC community partnership.
I got it. Okay. Great. Okay, I'm good. Why don't we just go through 1 through the agenda, and then we'll send 12 to the special board meeting.
No, 13.
12 and 13.
I want
13,
12,
I'm sorry.
yes.
12 will bring
Full means
next
take off
month.
agenda, right?
Okay.
Yes.
No, I thought it was 12.
No, 12, I want to pull that item and bring it back in March, but 13 is the one with the interviews.
Oh, you don't want to take 12 at the special board meeting?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 1 is discussion items of board member concerns. Are there any? Ms. Mitchell?
No, I have none.
No travel to report? No, how about out-of-country travel?
So Dr. Burke, there's two potential trips that are coming up that we want to bring to your attention. One is being funded through the State Department. It's to India. It follows up on a previous trip that we had supported. They would pay for all of the expenses for Dr. Tassopoulos. The dates have changed, and we wanted just to come so that there's plenty of advance notice. We were originally anticipating that would have been in February, but because of the government shutdown, they're now not sure whether it's going to be late February or in March. But we wanted to make sure that there was plenty of time to advise the board. The second was
Are they picking up his hotel and expenses?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The second out-of-country travel is we've been requested by Taiwan EPA to provide technical presentations with regards to our monitoring capabilities. Again, they would provide for full reimbursement of all the expenses, hotel, airfare, lodging, meals. And that too was originally anticipated to be in late February, but now we think that they may move that to early March.
Fine. Any problem with that, Ms. Mitchell?
No, no problem.
Okay. Okay, then, the board member assistant compensation, we're gonna move till Tuesday. Sunjata?
Good morning, Dr. Burke. Good morning, members of the committee. Sujata Jain, Assistant Deputy Executive Officer of Finance. This is a presentation of our second quarter budgeted versus actual for fiscal year 2018-19. And this is for the quarter that ended on December 31st, 2018. So briefly, we're going to show you a summary of the budgeted versus actuals. Then we'll get into the revenues and then in expenditures. And then we also added a slide to show you the use of fund balance up to that quarter. And then based on that, we'll show you a final projection. So the first slide is showing budgeted versus actual summary. And once again, we want to just share that the adopted budget was a balanced budget of $162.6 million for revenues and expenditures. There were amendments made throughout the fiscal year so far, and the revenues are at $167 million and the expenditures at $172.8 million. But the actuals are at revenue $84 million approximately and expenditures at $75 million. In the next slide, what we are doing is we're comparing two fiscal years, same quarters, so you have some benchmark to compare where these revenues are coming. So the three biggest categories, revenue for emissions, annual operating fees, and permit fees, you can see that those are trending pretty close to where we are, in prior years also. And similarly for mobile source and also area sources and transfers in. The only one that has a significant flux is other. And I just want to remind once again, that's because we are recognizing revenue in this fiscal year for the AB 617, and that grant was not there last year. So on the expenditure side, you can see that the broad categories such as salaries and benefits, services and supplies, those are all trending very similar to when you compare it to last year's second quarter, and also debt service. The one that's it is low is the capital equipment. And that is because some of the appropriations were given back to us in our mid-year adjustment. And so those projects will be, either getting contracts or encumbered, and you will see probably that catching up to the amounts that have been appropriated. This next slide, we are showing you the use of fund balance so far. And all these have been board approved. And the biggest, of course, was the board restoration of $3.6 million. But then there are others that have gone to the board for their approval, and $5.8 million has been used out of the undesignated fund balance. So with that, what we did is we projected that into our 5 years. And you can see that because we had a surplus in 17-18 of $8.8 million, when we are showing you the use of fund balance and it's being projected out, the reserves are looking very similar to what we are usually budgeting, and they are at 20% or above for the first 3 years, and then they do go.
Sujata,
Yes, Dr. Burke?
could you go back one slide for a second?
Oh, yes.
No, there you go.
One more slide, Dr. Burke?
No, this one.
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, I got it.
Okay, Dr. Burke.
Thank you. It went by so fast. I couldn't read them all. I got it now.
I'm sorry, Dr.
Thank you.
Burke. Okay. So in these projections, we have some assumptions. We have a 8% vacancy rate. We also have projected CPI increase. We projected the last year of Title V fee increase, which will be 10.67%. And any salary increases have been projected here also. And with all that, we are seeing that, the fund balance looks like what it should be, or, at least what we showed in the budget. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Sujata, I just want to say to you that you came into this job with a very difficult situation because the guy who was there in front of you was very popular, very charismatic and accurate and all those things. But I personally, I think you stepped right up and you've hit the ball out of the park. I think the job you've been doing is just outstanding, outstanding.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Burke. I appreciate that very
So
much.
so you can send me an extra little check. Yeah, I think you're wonderful, and I think we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Burke.
No problem. Okay, are there any comments by any staff or Ms. Mitchell? Do you have any
No comment, looks like we're on track.
questions? I would like to see the board letter on the 289,000 for the China port trip.
Okay.
Okay, RFPs to be released in March.
Okay, once again, good morning, Dr. Burke. Good morning, members of the committee. This item is to release RFPs for, one is for landscape maintenance services, and the other one is for maintenance services and repair for the heating, ventilation, and conditioning and refrigeration equipment. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Before we consider this, where are we on the elevator situation?
So we just authorized the hiring of a engineering firm to assist in the evaluation. We were working with Tyson, Knudsen, and John, maybe you can come in, who asked us to actually bring in a specialist on the elevator. So I just signed the paperwork this morning, and John can give us more information as to the exact timing.
Good morning, Dr. Burke. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
We are working to bring the RFP to the administrative committee in March, and then we would issue the RFP for the elevator modernization program project in April. But we have just brought on. Go ahead.
John, is it just me, or are those elevators really messed up?
Those elevators have been.
They're really messed up.
Yeah, they're really messed up.
Because I was, the other Friday when I was out, there's always one that's not working. So you have one that's working. So I got on the elevator going, I think I was looking for Byron's office, and that fella got on with me, and he hit the button above the floor I was going to, and the elevator stopped. I mean, it was in between floors. It just went, bam.
Oh, that's scary.
At that moment, I wanted to choke Wayne so bad. It was unbelievable, man.
Work it out of that.
Between that and the tears in my eyes from the sheer panic, it was amazing. But then it kind of caught itself and it went on up. But I can't imagine that 80% of our employees travel those elevators every day. We got to get that ASAP. If we need to do something to move that along more efficiently, we need to do that. And don't feel hesitant on speaking to either Wayne or myself about moving it forward.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. We are full speed ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you have any comments on the item, on the item 8? I mean, on item 7?
Are we using zero emission equipment on our maintenance services?
Yes. It's in the contract, yes.
Okay, good. Dr. Burke, I do have some comment requests here, some public comment requests. One is,
On what item?
well, one is item 8, which is that just our regular public comment? What is that one? And what
Yes,
is,
that's coming up.
what is that saying?
So it's like 16.
Yeah, that was 16 and 8. Okay, so 8's the one we just did, right?
No, 7.
No, 8 is the one we're getting ready to do.
Here we go. All right, I'm on the wrong page. Okay.
So, Dr. Burke,
I don't see Dr. Fine. Is Dr. Fine here this morning?
No.
Mike Kraus is going to take this item, but I just wanted to tee it up, just to let you know, this is following the board direction because there was some interest in understanding how the review panels are put together for different RFPs. So in the future, we're going to add that information into the board letter with the RFP, but because of the timing and we don't want to delay moving this one forward, we're bringing this particular composition very briefly to your committee for your information, and Michael described it.
Right, thank you, Joe. Hi, Dr. Burke, Mayor Mitchell. Just a reminder, back in December, the board did approve an RFP for us to select an engineering and consulting firm to assist us in reviewing our BART analysis for upcoming Rule 1109.1, which is the landing rule for the refinery equipment. We did receive 3 bid proposals from 3 engineering firms. So staff just wanted to come here and provide you our bid evaluation panel that we would like to review the bid submissions. So we are going to have a manager from engineering who is overseeing our refinery reclaim team, so well qualified, a supervisor in planning who has experience not only in reclaim refineries but also in evaluating control technologies, so otherwise known as BART, which is a key part of this evaluation. And then as far as the outside reviewer, we have someone from our sister agency who we're looking at. He's a senior engineer with 25 years experience in the refinery industry, but also working with our sister agency. Air agency has worked on things like limits on best available control technology. So we think we're very well qualified.
Which one?
Which district?
Which agency?
Bay Area.
Thank you.
Bay Area.
And so that was that.
That's it. Okay. Any questions from Ms. Mitchell?
Just that this is really important work. We've got to get everybody up to back to BART in our reclaim program, so, or dissolving of our reclaim program. So I think it's really important work.
We agree. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then agenda item 8, we have Mr. Etter would like to speak again. Speak on this item.
Mr. Eder?
And Mr. Etter wants to speak on item 16.
16, okay.
Okay,
We'll
sorry.
hold that for,
So he gets.
So he should, if this is, Mr. Etter, is this the only item you want to speak on?
I haven't looked at the other, 10 through 15, I haven't looked at.
And look at, so.
But I
guess
do
this-
want to speak on this.
So,
So how much time, Dr. Burke, will you give Mr. Etter?
I'm sorry, we're having a technical difficulty. What'd you say?
I asked you how much time you would like to give Mr. Etter to speak on this item, because he may speak on other items on the agenda as well. He just
Well-
hasn't looked at them yet.
I'll tell you what,
I defer to Mr. Gilchrist.
Mr. Chair, my recommendation would be to give Mr. Etter 3 minutes total for items 1 through 14 and allow him to divide that time up as he would like, similar to what we do at the board meetings. And then
Would you have
additional
somebody
3
keep
minutes for
time?
public comment.
So
We
I
have-
don't have to keep score.
We have a
Okay.
time
That right here, sir.
I'll monitor that.
Okay.
So, Mr. Etter, you heard the
number 8,
advice.
Mm.
You have 3 minutes on all the items you'd like to speak on 1 through 14, so you may want to think about how you want to divide up if you want to speak on the other items.
And then an additional 3 minutes for public
For
comment.
public comment, you get an additional 3 minutes. So, do you want 3 minutes now, or should we set it at 1, or how would you like to proceed?
just give me the whole 3.
Okay, we're giving Mr. Etter 3
I'm
minutes.
I want to speak on 8
on item eight.
and 13 and 14.
Okay, so 3 minutes on those 3 items.
All right.
13 and 14, okay.
It's counting down before I even started. Okay. Now it's coming back. Hello, my name's Harvey Etter. I'm talking for myself and for the Public Solar Power Coalition. This stuff with BART. History. The Supreme Court of the state of California made a unanimous decision in 2012 that BART is technology forcing. That if it isn't cost effective life cycle costs now, if it is in 2, 3, 4 years, then, and the rules come in then it has to be used. That's a unanimous decision, and it was the district's case against the coating manufacturers. You won the case. Now you've got to implement it for solar. In the 92, the 1 plan, in the 12 plan, and in the 16 plan, there's stuff all over that, but solar being life cycle cost effective has become more so. This is the law. You're not following the law. Now you've been backsliding. You've been backsliding on these other things that's been brought up. We're trying to get a hold. We got support from Adrian Martinez anyway. He's not returning calls. I'm trying to go to the Sierra Club, but I'm ready to litigate on this and considering litigating for murder, premeditated murder. The body count 7,500 in the state, 44 here. So much from background in this, and that it isn't even put down. It's like referred to an Excel sheet. This is what I'm getting from Dr. Piqueras. I talked with you, Dr. Burke, about the report I did with Leonard Grimes with the PUC. You said you were going to follow up on that. Was that done, or
I did. Let me say this. I hear Mr. Etter come in and give us various facts for the past God knows how many years. And I never get any rebuttal. You know? It makes me go to his side. Because if he was wrong, or if he was so far out of line in what he said, he could be dismissed by any simple statement. But nobody has made that statement in all the years that he's been coming here. So I don't want to name any staff names in particular, but I have talked to some of the staff and, asked them what their position is, and I get the description of, well, we put a footnote here and a page there, and it's never really anything of substance. Now, at some point, somebody on the staff has got to step up and say, Harvey Etter doesn't know what he's talking about from a hill of beans. Or they got to say, he may have a point. Now, if he's talking about we won a case in the California Supreme Court, because I happen to remember that case against them, then, you know, it would seem to me that that may have some impact on our utilization of solar. And I know that our bet has been all electric vehicles and all of that. It's the rubber is going to meet the road on this. You know, you're going to have to answer these questions, and you can't just let him get up and talk and talk and talk and talk and say the same thing basically with different details all the time and not answer. You got to answer. If he's wrong, just tell me he's wrong. I'll be for that. But if he's not wrong, we owe the public the responsibility to acknowledge that he's not wrong.
So Dr. Burke, in regards to these landing rules, Mr. Etter's wrong. It doesn't apply when you're looking at heaters, when you're looking at other emission control equipment.
At refinery.
At refineries.
But you never said that before. See, so, okay.
He's
Harvey,
wrong.
now you can debate it. You can debate it with Wayne. And if you don't win with Wayne, you can come back and call me again.
All right, but he's got to cite facts. That's what I've done. I don't hear any facts.
Harvey, we can talk afterwards.
Yeah, we've been talking since you've been here, since Barry left. I mean, you know, maybe it's time for another change. Also, I got another minute left. The investor-owned utilities have got a conflict of interest in the equitable solar transition. They're pushers of fossil fuels and nukes, okay? Well, the fires aren't going away, the floods aren't going away, the heat waves and all this. The IOUs that we spent 18 years ago, $42 billion, according to Public Policy Institute of California, from Department of Water Resources and direct general funds. $72 billion, the outfit out of Santa Monica said, we have high dents to hundreds of billions of dollars, and we just ought to take over the system. We're going to get it for $1.
I'd like to. I'm trying to help you out here.
Okay, well, I just want to get that on the record because we discussed that as well, briefly. Yep. Do you have any response to that?
Go. You got it.
Give him back that 30 seconds.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Mr. Etter, thank you.
Okay.
I want to say one
Harvey,
more thing. That
Harvey,
this climate thing.
Harvey, Mr.
Yeah.
Etter,
Want me to
Mr.
go
Etter. You know what you might want to do
Yeah.
also is provide me with some written material so that I can, now I'm not looking for 800 pages. I'm looking for some one pages on various issues that I can check out.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, will do.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Where are we at now?
You're at item 9 on the agenda.
Yes. Oh, no, we're going to adjourn now. This is too much money. We don't have this money. Okay. Okay, Ron, go ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Burke, Mayor Mitchell, Ron Moskowitz, Chief Information Officer. Everything's going very well. Over the next few months, we'll be migrating all our district mailboxes to Microsoft Cloud in Office 365, and I'll keep the board updated on our continued progress. Our mobile app continues to gain momentum with users, and we just released an update that further improves the functionality. Our Android version for that app is set to be released by the end of May. And in our Request to Speak app, we implemented the enhancements recommended by yourself, Dr. Burke, Dr. Parker, and Mayor Benoit, and it was already in production at our last governing board meeting this past Friday. Everything worked as expected, including the total number of speakers now listed at the bottom and the total number of items requested to speak for each requester. Everything else is going well, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I really enjoyed the new system, and it really helps out, excuse me, enormously. You know, when it helps correct me when I'm doing something wrong, so it's really working out. Thank you. Okay, item 10. That's is this the one with all the money is 10?
No, this is with some of the money. This is authorized maintenance and support. So, good morning, Dr. Burke and Mayor Mitchell. This is a standard annual request to obtain approval to purchase 1-year maintenance and support services for our servers and storage. The funds are in our budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
This would normally require a motion, but since we don't have a quorum, we will just refer this to the full board with
Concurrence, Dr. Burke.
thank you.
Help
me out.
Assuming that Mayor Mitchell concurs as well.
Yes, I concur.
So that would
Okay.
be reflected as a concurrence.
Okay. Okay, item 10?
11.
11.
11.
Good morning again, Dr. Burke and Mayor Mitchell. This is to transfer and appropriate funds. It's a standard request to transfer and appropriate funds in order to complete a number of application development projects, including our permit streamlining and our mobile app for the Android. The funds are available in our budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So this is the one with the 500,000 in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we also will just, if Mayor Mitchell agrees, we'll just forward this to the full board with a recommendation for approval.
I agree.
Concurrence, sir.
I concur.
Concurrence,
It's not the same.
okay. Okay. Is that then, that's 10 and 11?
Yes.
So we'll take 12 now?
12 we're pulling till next month.
I'm sorry?
We're pulling 12 till next month, Dr. Burke.
Oh, we're pulling 12 from next month.
Yes.
Why are you here at this meeting, Mr. Alatorre?
Look good?
Again, the question.
You know, it's like typhoid Mary. You know, like, you want to make everybody in the district sick?
Yes.
Okay. We appreciate your loyalty to the cause, but man,
Okay.
item 13.
Item 13, Dr. Burke, is execute a contract for services to continue our environmental justice.
This
This
one
is
we were
pulled
gonna
for
pull
the
to the
special
next
administration.
We're doing
meeting.
13. No, but pull it for
At
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Special admin committee. Okay, so you want the interview to happen on Tuesday? They're here now.
No, let's Ms. Mitchell and I do the interview, because it doesn't make sense to bring these people back. I mean, these people have worked for us in the past and have a record with us that's probably 10 years or 15 years old. So, I mean, it's not like they're new people.
Yes, yes, sir, Dr. Burke, they're coming in right now for the interview. Again, this item is to approve the contract. It's a 1-year contract for $160,000 with 2 1-year options to extend upon satisfactory work by the consultant. So with us, we have the consultants here to be interviewed. Who's going to be leading it?
I'll start it off.
Shall we defer action on it, but just do the interview today?
Yes, you're going to do the interview.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could submit assuming you agree, you could do a concurrence to the full board now.
Right, that's the.
So if we did, are we still gonna meet next Tuesday? Is there anything to meet on next Tuesday if we just do concurrence today?
On item number 5 still, the board consultant compensation.
All right, got it. Okay.
That,
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Burke. And thank you, Ms. Mitchell, for the opportunity to interview, to continue the great work that we've been able to do with SCAQMD in partnership to moving forward the environmental justice initiatives. We do have a presentation. I'm not sure where we're able to click through it or.
Sure, let's hear it. Let's go ahead.
There we go. Perfect. So we'll run through this quickly. Because we've had the pleasure and opportunity to work with AQMD for a number of years to help inform EJ communities on the efforts that AQMD is doing to ensure that they're informed of all the programs that are underway to improve our air quality. The Andrews Group has been in business for 25 years. We're a full-service public affairs and strategic planning services firm that provides a number of services. You can move on to the next slide. We have a pretty comprehensive team that will work on this initiative moving forward, and it'll be led by our CEO, Stephanie Graves, as our strategic advisor. Alicia James will be our project manager, as she's been managing this project over the last 2 years. And I'll serve as the government relations advisor, and we have some additional team members here today. So why the Andrews Group? I think we've been able to work very closely and very well with the staff here at AQMD, and we have an understanding of the vision that the board has to move these priorities forward to engaging EJ in disadvantaged communities, and we feel that we'll be able to take that to the next level.
So as Ricardo stated, we have had the pleasure of working with the South Coast AQMD and the Environmental Justice Program since the program's inception in 2016. Working closely with the staff, we develop various workshops, student bus tours, interagency summits, and conferences. And we propose to continue that work by the outlined approach. We want to set goals, identifying messaging that resonates with AQMD's current policies and initiatives, develop a comprehensive plan, and implement the logistics outlined in the plan, and then with the ultimate goal of engaging the community. And finally, we will report back on our work done. So we propose to build on the past. We've been working on this project for the past 3 years, and we have accomplished so much, and we just want to continue that work. With the Interagency Summit, we have identified a lot of challenges that we want to work with other agencies to address, and we are currently in the process of potentially forming an interagency task force. For the EJ conference, we want to increase attendance and continue those relationships that we have developed with partners and sponsors, as well as incorporating past attendees' feedback. And then with the student bus tour, engaging more schools. Tomorrow, we will be on a bus tour with the Port of Long Beach, partnering with USC as well. In the past, we have partnered with BYD, so we just want to continue that work.
So as Alicia mentioned, our team really wants to focus on building on our past to create more engaging and more interactive events and workshops for the communities that your agency governs. Our team wants to integrate these new and innovative ideas to increase stakeholder awareness and participation. We have ideas of integrating a student program that will target school districts, students, parents from these disadvantaged EJ communities. And we also have ideas of having more student contests and raffles of items, environmentally friendly items such as air monitors, electric lawnmowers to our programs. Last year at the EJ conference, we were able to raise about $30,000 in sponsorships. So this year we want to focus on how can we raise the bar, how can we create a better and engaging experience for our attendees. So we have ideas of incorporating media breakfast, having more interactive breakout sessions with more discussions, and we also want to really utilize a lot of the new technologies that are available to us at our fingertips.
In terms of integrating technology, we certainly want to learn and build upon what's working well. The South Coast Air Quality Management District app is fantastic. We certainly want to obviously pick that out and promote that at all of our events. We want to, in addition to that, explore podcasts, updating the program website, social media live streaming, interactive touchscreens should be used at events, and online database tracking as well.
In summary, we have built an excellent reputation with South Coast AQMD and more specifically the environmental justice team. We hope to continue our work by building on the past and introducing new ideas to raise the bar. And we'll open it up to any questions.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Mitchell, do you have any questions for them?
Well, maybe just very generally, you've kind of touched on that here today. What do you think can be done to improve this program? Are we reaching enough people? I noticed you said you wanted to increase attendance at our EJ events, so just kind of a general question here.
So we have visited the different 4 counties throughout the last 3 years. This year, we're thinking of targeting parents and students, implementing a flag program, going to schools, doing a presentation, assembly presentation, informing their parents about the AQMD, about the app, about other programs and things that you guys have going. With the conference, we want to build on that $30,000 that we raised. We want to take it to the next level. Instead of having a 300-person conference, have a 400-person conference with technology and iPads and just kind of really step it up. So that's our vision for this year.
So when you visit schools, what level are you visiting? High school, elementary?
Elementary.
Elementary.
Elementary, teaching them early on about air quality, what bad air quality is, what good air quality is, what makes air quality good or bad. Kind of teaching them the foundation so that as they're getting older, and there's always programs that engage the high school students, so it's not new to them once they get to that level.
So do you have some materials that you give to the elementary kids? Describe that for me.
So what we are envisioning is doing a skit, kind of a student explorer, going through the everyday places that they go to in their everyday life, exploring the store, the mall, the park, and seeing these flags. What we would be giving them are water bottles that list 3 things they can do to improve air quality, handouts on how to download the app, letters to parents, stickers, just kind of so it's always reminding them that what air quality is and that we love clean air.
So I like that part of the plan because I've had in my mind the campaign to go to school kids and say, do 1 thing to clean the air. Well, you've got to do 3 things. Something simple that they can remember, they can actually do, and they can take home to their families and share with their families. So I think there's always 1 thing we can do, or more, to help improve air quality. So I like that idea. And I think new technology is important to, they're interested in that, I think, what's happening with their iPhones, with their iPads. So I think that's another good tool to be using with them. There's a program that the Coalition for Clean Air does, I think it's Purple Air, that is hooked up to monitors. I don't know if you're aware of that, but they actually have monitors that the kids can use, and it hooks to a map on their app with an app that shows you what the air quality is right in there, where they're sitting, where they're standing in their region. So nice. I'm just bringing that to your attention as another possible tool that you might consider. Good work you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else, Dr. Burke.
I don't have anything either. My kids are so old. I got my oldest daughter is 50 and my youngest daughter is 42. I don't even know what grade school's about anymore. So I try and keep up through my granddaughter, and she's 4, and she's doing stuff I wasn't doing until I was 50. So, I gotta leave this to the experts. This is way out of my league. So, I'd like to thank you for the presentation. Your company's reputation is beyond reproach. I assume that we will forward this to the board with our concurrence. And thank you for coming by.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Bird, they're the only firm that submitted a proposal. There's not going to be any more interviews. We did send out the RFP, advertised in the LA Times, Orange County Register, San Bernardino Sun, and Riverside Press Enterprise, as well as doing direct mail to public affairs firms. And we also notified the Black Latino Caucus in Sacramento of this proposal, RFP. And we only received one, as I mentioned.
Okay. Do we need any action on that?
Just to concur to send it to the board, is that what we're doing?
That's correct.
Okay, I concur.
Okay, so we'll forward that to the board with concurrence. Next item.
So Dr. Burke and Mayor Mitchell, this item is to amend the Environmental Justice Community Partnership and Young Leaders Advisory Council. What we've seen is in other charters that they have an attendance policy, and we want to establish that policy here on for these two advisory groups. If any member misses 2 consecutive meetings without prior notice to the district, then they will be notified that they've been removed. The advisory councils meet 4 times a year, so it's imperative that people attend. And this action is again to amend those charters for those two environmental groups.
Dr. Liu emailed me about this about a week or 10 days ago, and then this comes up on the agenda. Is this something that he's recommending, or is this generated by your department?
No, we actually thought about that because we saw a lot of folks that were not attending consecutively, and he was actually there too when staff talked to him about it.
Dr. Burke, if I could add, yeah, Dr. Liu saw this and suggested that we also carry this over to some of our other committees, and that's something that we're looking at. We had some concern about some committees don't meet very often, but I think the key aspect here is that notice be given. If people aren't giving notice, then I think that signals their level of interest and commitment. But I think that if people have a valid reason for not attending, that's something that we can take into account.
Fine. Okay. Well, thank you. And this is another one that if Ms. Mitchell agrees, then we will forward to the board with our concurrence.
Yes, I concur.
Okay. Then are there any other matters that someone would like to bring to the admin committee this morning?
Public comment on item 15.
Yeah, there's one.
16, I'm sorry.
Then we will go to public comment?
Yes.
Oh,
Mr. Etter,
you have a
like
matter?
comments.
No, just public comments, sir.
Oh, just public comment, okay.
And there's one speaker, Mr. Etter, again.
Yeah, Mr. Etter?
3 minutes.
Hello, I'm Harvey. I'm talking for myself and Public Solar Power Coalition. I've heard that the definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I relate to that. State law now, Senate Bill 100 says by 2045, we'll have 100% solar renewables for electric generation. Only 16% of emissions comes from production of electricity. That's like the little dance I've done with Dr. Fine, saying that, only can use a couple tons of NOx versus the 5,000 BYD Class 8 trucks that the staff is telling me for a couple years that they say they can produce them, but that we shouldn't do this. Damn it, we gotta do this. The state law says that this is gonna be by 2045, but it says or sooner. Cortez says the whole country by 2028. Can do. We've been talking immediate total solar conversion for a long time, for decades. There's we've got CCAs. Now the district, we've got ROG, in San Bernardino, we got Coachella, we got what is it? I'm blanking out. Riverside. We got LA and Ventura. It's happening down in Irvine, but they have a withdrawal fee, PCIA. This was a deal that was made. The investor-owned utilities should have been taken over 18 years ago when they were going to sell their T&D. PG&E was going to sell a T&D system for $1. This was under Burton, was under Davis, a Republican governor. We're in the same damn thing again. But we've already paid tens and hundreds of billions of dollars subsidizing these folks. And we've still got the question of what to do with the future of climate and what to do with the nuclear waste, so you can make bombs out of the waste. And we got them right here in the district and up north. I don't know, man. I just get pretty discouraged. You know, it makes me think, my granddad, Abe Etter, he came here from Austria when he was 16 in 1909. He used to tell me, he said, you know, don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. Enough said.
Thank you, Mr. Etter. That concludes public comment, I believe. Anyone else? All right.
We have no public comment here. So this will adjourn the admin committee meeting for February 8th, 2019.